So I haven't made a bike video in the last couple of weeks. Per my other video, I've been working on the GTR that I bought, ordering some of the bodywork and some engine stuff and a lot of small things that I've been wanting to update on the car. I'll have those in another video. But I did get a new package from CHP for the 1970 CT70. So I'm going to get those installed and I'll show those on this video, but wanted to bring you up to date on some of the other stuff that I've done. I have the handlebars in place. I got these from CHP as well. They're very good looking. CHP said that they make these in-house and they look of quality, much higher quality than the bars that I got for the 1976 bike, which look a little more likely to have made in China or something. But the bars look great. I have the levers. These aren't OEM levers, but they were a less expensive alternative and they fit well and look pretty good. I have these side reflectors that I ordered. These are also, it looks like the plastic says Stanley. The sides here are painted though, so I don't know if these are remanufactured with new rubber pieces, but they look really good and fit well. I have the front spacer situation figured out. Originally I was using the 1976 spacer, which was a little bit shorter because the forks on the newer bikes are wider. But I have the right size spacer and the right size bolt, so the front wheel assembly is finished. I have the new brake pads or brake shoes assembled inside of the hub here too. On the carburetor, I actually made a small adjustment. I bought an inexpensive carburetor off of eBay that had the angled throttle tube. The one that came with this carburetor goes straight up, and it was difficult because to curve the throttle cable, it comes up and then rubs against the frame here. Anyway, the new carburetor that I bought actually had the same size threading for the cap, so I went ahead and just took the cap, and I have the other carburetor in a box. It was easier than trying to remove all of this. Plus, I know this carburetor works well because I had it running on the other engine. And then I've completed the drivetrain setup. This is the 17-tooth front sprocket and the 35-tooth rear sprocket, and this is the 420 size chain. And then back here I have the plastic piece, the plastic shroud that goes in between the sprocket and the hub that I purchased from CHP, and the C-clip that I installed to hold it all together. These are the aftermarket tension adjustments. I think these were pretty inexpensive, about $4 or $5 from CHP. And then this is the OEM rear bolt from the 1976 bike. So in this new order from CHP, I have the foot brake as well as the springs to keep the tension on the foot brake and the electronic signal for the rear brake light and the additional spring there, as well as the brake rod to connect to this rear brake here. So after this next setup, I should have the entire braking system completed for the rear. The drivetrain will be complete, and that'll only leave me the electronics, then the fenders, gas tank, and the controls for the front, and I should be pretty close to completion on the bike. Like the 1976 bike that I had powder coated, the coating is so thick on certain sections like the foot brake rod here that it doesn't neatly slide on. It's off by a couple of mils, so I'm going to lightly sand this section down so that I'm able to get this slid onto this post.